What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. It is the Sanderson Farms Championship 2021 from Country Club of Jackson. I'm DB of the Tour Junkies. I got Pat Perry with me. We just finished wrapping up our own podcast covering this event. This is now the sixth year we've covered the Sanderson Farms Championship. We've been doing this a minute, Pat. Cheers to you, buddy, for that long covering the Country Club of Jackson Sanderson Farms. I mean, do you know how dedicated you got to be to want to cover the Sanderson Farms Championship every year during the NFL season?
Very dedicated.
Yeah, cheers. But listen, it's going to be good. We're going to give you some bets that we like. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button here on the DraftKings YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's good stuff. Let's have some fun with it. We're coming off of we got some money at Ryder Cup. We hit DJ at 40-1 to win 5 points. We hit that on our
crazy because you've never seen that.
Credit to us. Good job. All right, let's talk about this golf course real quick, Pat. I mean, because people can go a lot of different places to get more information on the golf course, including the DraftKings YouTube channel with Pat Mayo, our own channel at Tour Junkies on YouTube, Country Club of Jackson. What do we need to know for like bare minimum?
Well, great course, Country Club of Jackson in Jackson, Mississippi, par 72, 7,460 yards. We've got 156 players, so a full field event this week. T65 and ties will make the cut. Bermuda grass this week, tee to green. So you don't have all these crazy grasses, like bent here, blue
Bermuda everywhere.
Here. I mean, it's Bermuda everywhere. Okay,
Love
it's
it.
pretty wide off the tee, so it's not really that tricky. I mean, everything's straight there right in front of you on this course. It is a ball striker's course, though. I mean, we've seen guys that are long off the tee win here. We've seen guys extremely short. Ryan Armour is a previous champion here in 2017.
Good guy.
Okay? When you get Ryan Armour as a previous champ, you get Cam Champ the following year. That tells you a lot of different players can win here. But this is definitely a ball striker's course. There's just not a lot of trouble off the tee and around the greens. Okay, it's pretty easy. All right, we're going to see some scoring. So we're definitely going to want to look at that. We're going to want to look at guys who check boxes, scoring on par fives and just scoring in general. So it's going to be a pretty easy course. And that's about it.
Love it. Since this tournament moved to the Country Club of Jackson, you've had 5 first-time winners. The only one that wasn't was Sergio Garcia last year. So first-time winners, these Korn Ferry Tour graduates that are now rookies on the PGA Tour, those guys can definitely win here. Your journeymen that have been battling for that first PGA Tour win can win here. And yeah, you're right. A lot of different type of guys can win. 3 of the winners at this event in the last 6 years are over 100 or over 125 to 1 long shots, and the shortest numbers to win here in the last since they moved to Country Club of Jackson, 66 to 1. Cam Champ and Sebastian Munoz were both 66. Garcia was 70 to 1. Outside of that, a bunch of triple-digit long shots. So listen, this is not a tournament where you got to feel like you need to pound the top of the board and the shorter numbers. This isn't a real top-heavy field. This isn't like the Fortinet a few weeks ago. We had John Rahm, who still kind of crapped the bed, but he was looking ahead to Ryder Cup week. There's not really like a real upper echelon in this group of players in this event. So let's get started, Pat. I am not going to be forced. I'm not going to force myself into betting anybody super short here. I guess if I had to go somewhere in the shorter range, Mito Pereira at 28 to 1 is a name that you're going to hear a lot about. He's a stud ball striker. He won 3 times on the Korn Ferry Tour to get the immediate exemption on the PGA Tour back in July. Came out on the PGA Tour and racked up a few top 5s, top 6s. He's been playing very well. Came close to winning a couple times. Finished 6th at the Fortinet just a few weeks ago. Mito's a stud. He's 28 to 1 on DraftKings Sportsbook. He's going to be really chalky in DFS. So if you're like me, you might fade him in GPPs, but hedge a little bit in the betting markets. He's got the chops to win at 28 to 1. I like him. I like Carlos Ortiz at 40 to 1. He's a former PGA Tour winner. He's got a T3 and a T4 here at the Sanderson. He's a good total driver of the golf ball. In other words, he hits it long and he's fairly accurate. Putts very well on Bermuda. I like Carlos Ortiz. Had a good end of the year. He's at 40 to 1 on DraftKings. That's kind of it for me in this kind of short to getting into that middle range until we get to more of the 80 to 1 numbers.
Well, a couple guys that I like, and then I'll give you someone we could avoid. And here's the thing, like,
I like that.
Just by giving you guys we like is fine, but we're going to try to save you some money on guys to avoid and wasting your money on. But two guys I like Seamus Power. It's 30-1. I think that's a good number for him. Seamus Power has been playing absolutely incredible on tour lately, and he's a guy that nobody really talks about all that much, but this is a great course fit for him. I think this is a great week for him to get his first victory on tour. So I like him.
He has a victory on tour.
Another victory. Sorry,
he won in an alternate field event.
Yeah, it was like this is like a little bit different than that.
A few weeks ago. Although this isn't much different than an alternate field event. Honestly.
I guess it's not. Yeah, maybe you're right. And then another guy I like is Sung JM at 16-1. I know that's short. But I think Sung Jae definitely is one of the class players in this field. Him or Corey Connors, who's also at 60-1. I could go either, or 16-1. I could go either way with those two guys. But here's who I want to avoid. Sergio Garcia. No, not going to play Sergio Garcia at 20-1. I don't look, he's coming off of a very emotional Ryder Cup. I know he won this tournament last year, but there's no way in hell he is winning this tournament again this year. I don't like him, so I'm going to fade him. Other than that, that's all I got in this kind of early range.
All right, kind of working up the board, approaching that 100-1 number, but a couple guys here at 80-1 I really like. I'm digging KH Lee a little bit. This is a guy who we saw get his first PGA Tour victory this past season at the Byron Nelson. Also finished 6th at the 3M Open, 12th at the BMW. That was his last event we saw on the PGA Tour in the playoffs. 12th at the BMW. It's a 70-man field event, but it's a stacked field. It's a tough course. I mean, he came up and did his thing. I mean, KH Lee has some game. And he's played this place 3 times, made the cut 2 out of 3. His best finish was a T35. Checks the box off the tee, approach, par 5 scoring. It's all about the putter for KH Lee. But as you can tell, with Cameron Champ winning, with Sergio Garcia winning, you don't have to be a great putter to win here, that's for sure. And then I'm going to go with our boy Joel Damon, also at 80-1. Now, Joel also got his first PGA Tour victory this past season in another kind of off-field event, but the Corrales Punta Cana. Joel Damon won back in March. It hasn't done much since, but I don't know. I feel like this weak field, kind of an all-around game guy. Like Joel is good off the tee, good with approach, okay putter. I just feel like 80-1 is it's more of a value play on that number for Joel, 80-1. So I like those two guys before we get into those 100 numbers.
Well, a couple of guys I like here. One is Joseph Bramlett here at 65-1. Look, Bramlett is you look at the stats. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, he's one of the top ball strikers in the field. He's top 4. He's 4th in approach. He's 5th in ball striking. He's 14th in opportunities gained, which is a stat that kind of measures scoring opportunities. He's top 25 in strokes gained off the tee. I think that Joseph Bramlett has a great chance to win this week and to play well. And we've seen him do some things recently, so I do like him as well. And then a couple others. I mean, how about Emiliano Grillo? I mean, he's a guy that is just, he's a guy, fantastic ball striker, great player for this course. I like him. And Scott Stallings is also at 60-1, right next to him. 2 guys playing well recently. I like them as outright bets this week.
Okay. All right, let's get into the bombs. I got just a couple of bombs here. 2 at 130-1. I think you like both of these guys. We've talked enough tonight to know that we both like Nick Hardy and David Lipsky. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. David Lipsky finished 22nd at the Fortinet just a couple weeks ago. He's a Korn Ferry Tour graduate, PGA Tour rookie, and he's an international player. Like he won in 2020 at the TPC San Antonio course on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's got 2 international tour victories, one in Asia, one won on the European Tour. He won the Omega European Masters back in 2014. He's kind of a journeyman kind of dude, but just a good all around stick and knows how to close the door. Lipsky he's one to watch, 130 to 1, and then a little bit different vibe with Nick Hardy. Okay, Nick Hardy is a killer. He's a young guy, great total driver of the ball. Great greens and regulation numbers on the Korn Ferry Tour last year. Finished 20th in the order of merit on the Korn Ferry Tour season. And he's got a good all-around game. Short game, scrambling is really solid. Putting is top half of the Korn Ferry Tour. So just no weakness in the game. We saw him Monday qualify last year on the PGA Tour for the Sony Open and the Waste Management. He came in, Monday qualified, made the cut in both, finished 14th at the Sony, I believe, and 42nd at the Waste Management. The kid's just got this mentality. He's got a little bit of fire in him, and he's got a lot of game. So he's one name that I think we could see early in this PGA Tour season get a victory. And I might as well go ahead and throw some dollars down on that at 130 to 1 on DraftKings. So I like those two guys especially. Anybody else for you in the triple digit range?
No, that's all I got.
Yeah, you don't really like a lot of guys down here, do you?
No.
I mean, just to throw out a few top 20s, I think you should pay attention to the two guys I just mentioned, Lipsky and Hardy, are both 5 to 1. Those are bomb 520, your top 20 numbers. But in the shorter range, I do like Carlos Ortiz at plus 220. I like Patrick Rogers at plus 250. I like KH Lee at plus 350. Those are some top 20s. You got any top 20s?
No.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So give it a thumbs up, give it a like. We'll be back every week this season. There's about 7 more events in 2021, consecutive events on the PGA Tour. We'll be here. I know it's football season, but there's a lot of money to be made here on the tour at this time of year with a lot of unknown names. We're digging in, getting the research, giving you the goods. So there you go. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the DraftKings YouTube channel if you haven't already. And go check out the Tour Junkies content on YouTube as well. May your screens be green for the Sanderson Farms Championship. See ya.
Out.